Hello ladies, today we are going to be working on the Hey Birthday Chick. This is the stamp set we will be using for today's class. And we are going to be making some cards using this stamp set. So the first one we're going to start off with is it's in the package that has all of the Bumblebee cardstock. I've already pre-mounted my stamps, so I'm just going to put them off to the side, and I have them all set up. In the package you will have some ribbon, basic white cardstock, 3 pieces of basic white cut out with the postage stamp, and some of the ones from the double oval. And I have to let you know. And then we got some more pieces cut out. And all the dimensions will be found in the tutorial that was being sent to you. You will also need the Memento black ink, and that is what we will be using today. Once you're done, you can color these guys with any color Stampin' Blends that you like. So let's get started, and we're going to start with let's place the basic white on the cardstock base. Okay, so we're just going to glue that down. Oh, sorry, before we do that, we are going to put some ribbon on. So let's put this, we are going to take this Designer Series paper. Now you'll notice that there's some writing on. Make sure it's the right way around. You don't want it to be upside down, okay? So we're going to adhere that first on to the basic white matte. Okay, and it is cut to the same length. So actually I'm going to put it down a little bit lower. So you want it in the first, the top 1/3 of the white. So we have it up there. Now I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm just going to, tape some onto the back, bring it around, and bring it around to the other side. I'm going to make sure it's nice and even. It is the Bumblebee gingham ribbon, and it is the same color as the cardstock Bumblebee. It's great how they have it all matching up. We are just going to tape that on the other side. Okay, now I want to make a little bit of a bow, but I'm going to leave that for now because it depends on where I'm going to put the sentiment on that. So I'm going to leave that. In the meantime, so that part is done, I'm going to put this aside. And actually I could probably pop it on to the card base right now, so that'll be one less step in a little bit. So let's glue that down. Okay, come on, glue that down and place it on the card base like so. Okay, just going to do that. So let's put this guy off to the side, okay? And we're going to bring in the little bits of basic white, the 3 squares, and what we're going to do is we're going to stamp a chicken on each of those and a sentiment on the oval. So let's get our Memento black ink, okay? And I'm going to ink up one of them. I'm going to test it on my paper first just to make sure it comes out. See where I have to ink it up. And I am going to stamp. I want him to be nice and even. I want to see the chicken and his little birthday cake, so I'm going to eyeball that and stamp it. Oops. There we go. Isn't that cute? So I'm going to put him aside, let that dry. I'm not going to try and touch it because sometimes the inks do run and I don't want to smudge it. So I'm going to take my second one, Henrietta. Call her Henrietta, and I'm going to stamp her on, okay? And, oh, look, she looks so cute on there. Put her aside. And my last one, I'm going to have the flying chicken. Now you could choose whatever one you like. There's still one left that has the little egg. You could always put him in there too, but I'm going to choose this one. And I'm going to eyeball it thereabouts. I want to get most of the chicken into the postage stamp punch. Okay, so I'm going to have that off, And before I put everything away, I'm going to just stamp on my little happy birthday in the oval here in the Memento Black. So ink it up, eyeball it, make sure it should just fit right in. There we go. And I'm just going to let that set off to the side while I wash off my stamps at this point. The next card we're going to be working on has the Pool Party cardstock base. So let's take a look at the items that are in there. So we have our Pool Party cardstock base. Inside is a Bermuda Bay Happy Birthday sentiment. I'm just going to poke these out. I did run through this. These comes with the dies. That is with the Happy Birthday chick, the birthday chick. So that is from one of the dies in there. Very cute. Very nice lettering on that. So I'm going to put that aside. We have a piece of a basic white. There is a pre-embossed paper with brick and mortar. There is a very bright magenta madness. So we're going to put that in there. You do also have a piece with a little window. I already pre-cut that out for you. And then there's a piece, it may be a little edge piece, but that is just for what we're placing behind. So you don't have to worry too much. You can clean that up or just leave it the way it is. Just to double check, get your one piece. So if I stamp on here, I can see, oh yeah, I can probably cut off a little bit and that'll be great. So let's start off with this piece that is going to be around in the back. So we're going to see this through the window. Oh, I forgot to mention there's a little piece of Pool Party ribbon there for you. Love that ribbon. Okay, so what we do again with our Memento ink, let us start with the Best of Cluck and these little party bits that we're going to be, that are in the package. So I'm going to get the pieces out. Or there's also another sentiment, I believe, oh, let's celebrate you, but I'm not sure 100% whether that would fit through the window. So you'd have to check that out first. So I'm going to place these guys on blocks. Okay, and I'm going to start with the wording first. Okay, and I want to center that. So I'm going to ink it up. And it doesn't matter, but I want it thereabouts right in the middle, okay? So it doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but there we go. And in the meantime, I am then going to ink up the party pieces and kind of stamp around the wording, okay? Maybe I need to kind of angle this like that. And, okay, I'm going to turn it. And I'm just going around the words, okay? And I'm trying to be careful. There is, you'll notice on the edge around here, a bit of, I went a little bit hard on that and didn't quite stamp, but that's okay because that is beyond the window of the piece that we're using. So I'm going to bring back in the part with the window. Okay, so I can see now if I center it, this is a little bit larger. So I'm going to just kind of take a little pencil and kind of mark off where thereabouts that I can cut. So I'm just going to cut just in for that. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to try again and take a look. All right. Turn it over. I can get enough room all the way around. Okay, so that fits in very nicely. I'm going to put this aside for now. And I'm going to focus on this piece right here. Now, to the left of the window, I would like to place one of my chickens. And let's choose the little guy. Let's call him Egbert. Let's grab Egbert, place him on a block, and stamp him in Memento ink on the front. Now, I'm not going to stamp him on the bottom. I kind of want him a little higher because down on the bottom, down here is where the ribbon's going to go. And again, I'm getting the little party bits, and I'm going to stamp around little Egbert like he's having a little party. Okay, let's see, can get him around. I'm trying to be careful not to get anything on him. And I'm just going to leave it around, kind of around the top of him. If you'd like to go a little further, that's great. That's up to you. Now, at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Stampin' Blends, and we're going to do a little bit of coloring. So I have my Stampin' Blends, and I have a variety of colors. And so I'm going to color in my little Egbert, and I'll probably make him yellow. So I'm just going to color him in carefully. All right. Just adds a little bit of color in there. Now for the color of the egg, I have picked ivory color. So let me see if that would be a good color or whether I'll just leave it white. I think I'm going to color in the egg, and then he's going to be an ivory color. Oh, I think it's time for me to buy a new ivory. Looks like some of the ink is drying out. This has been, I've had this now for, 2-3 years, so there we go. So there's the ivory. It actually looks pretty good. All right. I'm going to color in his little beak. Just grab a little pumpkin pie here for his little nose. Oh, that's a beak, sorry, not a nose. His little legs. And you can color him whatever you like. So I'm just using the fine tip. Now I'm going to be coloring in the top part. And I want to bring in some of the colors. So I want a little bit of pink. So I'm going to just dot here and there some of the colors that I think would be nice. And I want to bring in Bermuda Bay. Okay, so I'm going to be looking for those colors. All right, so I found some Pool Party, so I'm going to be coloring some of the little things in Pool Party and yellow and some of the other colors. So I'm going to kind of bring that up, and I'm going to color his hat to bring in some of the Pool Party. And let's put in a little bit of Rococo Rose. I love that color. So I've colored in my little Egbert, and I'm going to go back to the part that is behind him. So I'm going to just touch in some of these colors. I want to bring it through, so a couple here and there. And so some of the variety here. Okay. And I will also bring in some yellow. Okay. And that will pick up from the color of the little chick. Okay. You'll notice on the wide end, I'm just dotting and I'm using the brush end. Okay. So, there. All right, we got him all colored up. Now I want to mount this on here, but I want to mount it with some dimensionals. So I'm going to put the dimensionals on the back first. Okay, all the way around. I want it to make sure it's well adhered, so I'm going to put about quite a few around, especially into the corners. Okay. And don't forget the top. There we go. And I'm just going to peel these off. There we go. All the way around. And this will give a really good, strong, adhesive base. Also, it will make the card pop up a little bit and give a visual depth to the words that we're using here. So I'm going to turn it over, put it in as best I can. See, you're going to already see how it's already sticking out. So I want to make sure that I have dimensionals on the rest of the card now. I'm not going to put dimensionals on this part. I'm just going to use regular glue. So, because if I use dimensionals on this, it will be uneven. Okay, so I have that up like that. Now, at this point, you can wrap your ribbon around if you want. Okay. I'm going to just wrap the ribbon around. There we go. And have it so it goes around the bottom. You don't have to have the ribbon if you don't want to. I just think it adds just a little bit of nice little design. So it should be just enough to go around there. So, okay. Make sure it's well glued. Okay. So now I haven't finished it. I want to put it on the card base first. So I'm going to take in the pool party with the embossed and I'm going to lay it on top. Okay. And now with the rest of the ribbon, I'm just going to add a little, you can add a bow or if you like or whatever. Okay, I'm just going to add a little bit of a, there we go. Okay. Angle cut again. Trim up those edges. Okay. And now this is all about layering. So the next thing that comes up is I'm going to layer this just so that it is on top of the Magenta Madness. Oh, oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. All right, let's use some liquid glue since that keeps ripping the paper. I don't want to keep going along that. After 3 times, I think it's telling me something. So I'm just going to add some liquid glue onto that and lay it on top. So I want a little bit of the magenta to really pop it out from the color. And again, turn it over, and we're going to do another layer. Oh, see, it was just that one piece. And place it on top. So this should be, oh, come on, a very, very, oops, thin frame on the white. Ooh, wow, that's really super sticky, huh? All right, so just be careful because it's a very small. Maybe use liquid glue on that. And then this goes onto the card base. Okay, all like that. So there's quite a lot of layers and framing on this to help pop it up. Now the last little thing to do is to get the little happy birthday and put it in the corner. So I am just going to get a little bit of liquid glue and do a little dot in all the little spots. And pop it in the corner there. Okay, that should be good enough. Alrighty. And I'm just going to add that into the corner. And there we go. And that was really super simple, don't you think? Oh, it's so cute. There we go. All right, are we ready to move on to the next one? Is going to be with the Smoky Slate card base. We got Smoky Slate and this beautiful, beautiful Blushing Bride. This was in with the Valentine's, but it was so pretty. It's the foil. Very, very nice. And we are also using the Blushing Bride kind of gold sparkle ribbon. 2 pieces of a cardstock. So we got the basic white and a gray. So they kind of will end up going on top of each other. So first what we're going to do is we're going to stamp on the basic white first. Now you can grab whatever chicken you prefer. Okay, see, we could do this guy, but I'm going to use my roly-poly Henrietta and again stamp in my basic black. I'm going to put her on the right side, so I'm just going to put her on there. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? And I am going to get the Let's Celebrate You sentiment. Okay, let's grab that, ink it up, and I'm going to put that on the left, to the left of Henrietta. Okay, I'm going to put her right there. Okay, that's it for the stamping. It's very, very simple. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to color Henrietta. So when you come back, the next what you're going to see is Henrietta colored. I don't want you to waste your time watching me color. I do want to let you know what colors I'm using. So I'm going to be using the pumpkin pie for her little beak. I'm using the Smoky Slate for part of her feathers and maybe some color lifter. Let me grab that. The color lifter to kind of pull out some of the white, and then a red for her comb and stuff like that, just to let you know. Look at that. Now she's all colored up. So the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back in the Smoky Slate, and I am going to be adhering that onto the gray part to make like a mat. So I want a nice even all the way around. Okay. I'm going to bring in the foil paper, and all I'm going to do is just wrap around thereabouts, almost into the middle, just off center a bit, off to the left side. Bring that around. Okay, so it is about almost center, but not quite. Okay. Okay, and you'll see in a minute why I did that. Okay, I am now going to glue down the chicken over that part of the ribbon right into the center. So it kind of gives a bit of a kind of attractive look on that side. And from there, I glue it onto the card base. Pretty simple. These are really simple cards. The best part is the coloring in. Okay, so we're just going to put that on, and I'm going to flip that around actually, and have a nice frame all the way around. So there we go. What do you think of Henrietta? Now the last card we're going to create is with the Blushing Bride card base. Let's take a look at the images or the items that we have in there. So we have the Blushing Bride card base. There is a strip of DSP. There is a piece of basic white cut with one of the dies with the scalloped and stitch edges. There is another piece of Blushing Bride. There should be a sheet of hellos for you, and you can choose either if you want French or English or just the little heart. You know, there's enough there that you could cut out. So I want you to do that. And then in your package, I had to use what I had left over. I ran out of paper, so mine is the same color. It is the Bermuda Bay, but it is just a different pattern. I'm using the old pattern from Celebration. But yours is from the snail mail one. So and that's what we're going to be using. So let us first cut out. No, we're going to leave this to the end to see which one we want the best, okay? So let's grab our basic white with the scalloped edges, and let's put our flying chicken on that one. So this one. And so you're going to need a longer block to make sure that it's completely on. You want it nicely supported. So this is on the block I. So I'm going to ink it up. Okay. Make sure it's all the way around on the ink. Okay, it looks good. And I'm going to have it, so you're going to have the balloon just comes to the top and the chicken just comes straight to the bottom, and press it down. Okay, so be careful that you don't press too hard. So what happened here is I had some ink in the balloon, and apparently I pressed just too hard for that. But it's a little smudge, and I'll try and cover it up with some Stampin' Blends. So I'm just going to grab a color of Stampin' Blends. This is dark Granny Apple Green, so I like this color. So I'm just going to kind of color in a little bit. So I'm going to do the dark, and now I'm just going to grab the light Granny Apple Green. I can find it. Oh, heck, I'll just use the old olive. And I'm going to be blending that. I actually like these two colors together. Now, this is not the Granny Apple Green I'm using. This is the old olive. So I use dark Granny Apple Green and light old olive. Okay, so where the harsh edges are, you kind of want to do in circles, so you can kind of blend it. So I'm going to go over there. There you go. And if you want, go back over with some Granny Apple Green. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to blend a little bit more. Just those little edges. Okay? So just I want those edges to look like the balloon is just shaded there. Okay? And as the ink dries, it will dry a little lighter. Oh, that looks really good. You can kind of see the shading going on there in the balloon. Awesome. And now I'm just going to color my little chicken there. I'm going to be using a crumb cake for this chicken. And again, let's maybe just use the dark Cajun Craze for the beak and her little legs. So just touch that up and add some color to her feet. Oops. There we go. Let's do that. So when you come back, she'll be all nice and colored in. And there we go. Henrietta, Floating Henrietta is now complete. All right, let's take the Blushing Bride. It is a little larger. So most people, you can place it straight on if you like. But for this one, I am going to kind of offset it a little bit. I'll make it a little askew, just like that. I am going to take the card base and bring that in. And I'm going to place the DSP on top. Okay. And this is all coming in together fairly quickly. And in the Blushing Bride DSP from the snail, I'm going to put it right along the middle. Okay, now I'm going to have my little Henrietta's offset a little bit, so it gives the illusion that it is all angled. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a tilt and plop her in the middle. And now I can choose, do I want the little hello from the left or the right? Let's see. I'm going to choose. Which one do I want? Do I want that one? Okay, I'm just going to grab this one because I like it how it stands out. And I'm just going to fussy cut around the speech balloon. And then I'm going to pop it on top with some dimensionals. These are really cute. I love it when you can get the DSP that you can cut out. You can do so much more with it. Okay, and now let's get our dimensionals and place it on the back. Oops. That Bermuda Bay sentiment really pops out. So I could have it this way, but then we don't know what she's saying, so I'm just going to have it this way. And off to the side there. And voila. It is done. So all of our cards have been completed. Our little chicken cards, whoops, that's the wrong one, are all done. Okay, the only one I have not colored was the first one we did, and I will go back. I actually kind of like it just the way it is. So there you go. There are the 4 cards for this month's Cards to Go. So let me know what you think. I'd love to know, was this easy enough to follow along? If you got some suggestions, because this is the first Card as you go with the video class. Let me know. Have a clucky day.